Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. We're coming to you live here from, what are we at? PAX Unplugged, 2018.
We're at a
conventions. So many
2019.
conventions. Thank you all for joining us here today. As usual, I'm Matt.
I'm Josh.
I'm Julie.
And we are joined today with Chris from Asmadi. How you doing today?
Hey, doing great. We're having a fun and exciting show so far.
Little busy,
A little busy.
a little crazy, a lot of purple. That's how we like it here at Twist.
So much purple.
We made a
All
whole
the
purple map just for you.
I know, it's great. So let's just jump into it. What are we showing off here today?
So this is our Choose Your Own Adventure game called 1001 Odysseys.
Okay, color me intrigued.
So in 1001 Odysseys, you are following the journey. In fact, you're taking the journey of the human starship Odyssey, humanity's first faster-than-light vessel, which after Voyager 4 went off and found a weird Stargate orbiting Alpha Centauri, people were like, hey, let's build something and go through that. And so we're the result of that wonderfully smart decision.
Okay.
I like it.
And so 1001 Odysseys is the tale of the journeys you all take through that strange sector of space, full of turnip people and other interesting things.
All
I
right.
can dig turnip people. So
Oh, but bump.
I wasn't even trying to make that joke.
Oh, but you did.
But you
Oh,
did.
that's great.
You did it subconsciously, Matt.
So I see we've got some individual player roles in front of us.
Yes.
So I'm assuming we're all responsible for different aspects, and this is cooperative?
This is purely cooperative. It's a story game where you all become the crew of the Starship Odyssey, and in fact, the bridge crew. So I am the information officer, and we have operations, navigation, and command. It's important.
All right, so our ultimate goal here is what?
Our ultimate goal is to explore strange new world. I just got sued on my phone. So our goal is exploration, and ideally to eventually get home, but basically to just have fun adventures in wacky galaxy space.
Fantastic. So I think we can just jump right into
We
it
can.
then, right?
So the main action of the game takes place in the storybook, which contains all of the things that happen in the game. 1001 Odysseys comes with 4 books. This is a small version of one book just for demos, each of which have multiple chapters. A chapter is the unit of gameplay that you sit down to do, and it takes between half an hour to an hour, depending on how much you talk and how much you mess around and how many times you fall off a cliff into a panther-infested jungle. It
12.
happens. 12 is correct. But what happens when you finish a chapter is you get access to a new chapter. And you don't always do them in order. So when you finish chapter 1 here, you might go to chapter 2, might go to chapter 3. And next time you play, you start off in that new chapter.
Okay.
Okay.
So you've got the passport over there,
Yes.
which is the save file for the game. And this is where you write down... I'll just hold it up this way. This is where you write down all of your progress. So you write down the items you find, the contacts you make, and also the chapters you have access to. Because it's a demo, I'm not going to actually write in this copy, but we'll pretend.
Okay.
So as you go on, you have this nice save file that tells you where you've been and where you're going.
Awesome.
So to begin, we take the storybook out, and somebody will simply read the introduction to what is Story 4, Blast from the Chloroplast. Who wants this fine book, which
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
has no more puns in it at all?
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Blast
No, we
from
chose
the
wisely.
chloroplast. Story 4. All is quiet on the Odyssey until the ship needs its routine inspection to continue its journey around the Federation. The mechanic at the Lucky Landing spaceport tells you it should be an easy process. I don't know why they didn't do it when you first arrived in Insula, but it's not that easy. Says the mechanic, your ship's in violation of over 50 environmental regulations. I think I saw thrusters like yours in a museum once. You ask if she could upgrade your ship. Oh, not me, she says. You need the plumplin for this one. She hands you the business card of a plumplin named Molia Thagden on Brumigium and slaps a sticker on your ship door. The sticker, she tells you, will alert Federation authorities that your ship is unauthorized for travel to anywhere but Brumugum in order to make the necessary repairs. Interstellar EPA got us.
Yep.
It was bound to happen.
Back on board the Odyssey, the main view screen glows purple and red, displaying the seal of the Federation. This can mean only one thing: an official message from Federation headquarters.
Yay!
The message plays and a robotic voice shouts, "Notice the captain and crew. We have been informed that vehicle emissions testing is overdue for the Odyssey. To renew registration of this vehicle, it must comply with Federation mandated emissions requirements." Oops. There's there's really no way you can avoid this, is there? The message continues. "Proceed directly to nearest inspection facility under penalty of law. Nearest facility to your location is..." The recording pauses, and a completely different robotic voice completes the sentence.
On Brumgrum.
To Brummigam it is. So, Nav, add the Brummigam map to your play area. That's you, Josh.
So we've already done this for you because
Okay. Info,
yeah.
open your passport to Story 4, Chapter 1, and comms, continue to Chapter 1, a good mechanic.
So this would be the part where you set up the game by putting in the map and opening your passport to the right place, writing down Chapter 1 is a good mechanic, knocking over your name placard, and just destroying the ship all in one swing. So we would be able to begin now. Also, the information officer has a booklet called the Almanac, which is totally in front of me and not in the booth. The Almanac is where you can go to look up species, locations, and other things that you don't know about because you didn't write the game like us.
That's awesome.
Luckily, I wrote the game, so I know all the answers.
And if
So-
you don't, you can make it up.
Yeah, I can, and you won't know. So I can tell you that Brummigam is the homeworld of the Plumplim. Plumplim being adorable turnip root vegetable aliens who are sentient, about 3 feet tall, and very good at biology and other organic technology things.
They're the Hufflepuff.
They are the Hufflepuff. Meanwhile, let me fix the voice thing. And so you'll be able to look up any alien race or location you come across in that almanac, which serves as the alien Wikipedia. So to begin actually playing, we just turn the page to the Chapter 1 intro and begin. And as the commander, you always have the choice of who gets to read the paragraph. It's a very important job.
All right. Well, I'm going to read this one.
You got it.
You land in a small village at the end of Surim and call the mechanic on the card. "Sure, I can fit you in tomorrow," she says. You hear a loud, long crunching of metal from the shop. "Too much to finish tonight. Just come by my shop in the morning and I'll help you out." You park the Odyssey next door and settle in for a restful night of natural gravity. Ooh, exotic. In the
Very
morning,
comfy.
you look for the local department of multidimensional vehicles in the mechanic's yard. The shop in front has a bright, friendly sign which says Pilot Ship Service, spaceships, race ships, and other vegetable vehicles. You see ships in various states of disarray, along with a large pile of leaves and tubers. All you need to do is find your mechanic, pay her the fee, and wait for her to upgrade your ship. So updates include navigation, add location card, BG1.
So Navigator, you
To
have
map.
a deck
you,
of
Josh.
locations
Okay.
here. And you're going to add card BG01 to the map.
Okay.
So you flip it up, and it will show part of the map. And it will lock into place exactly where that goes. And we're upside down, so it's a little bit harder.
it's a little bit harder.
But it's going to go over about here.
Okay.
And you just slide that in so it lines up exactly with the picture, and it looks great. So that is a location that
Looks
is now available to us.
Info needs to add Quest 1, find a mechanic, to the passport.
So I go into the passport and write down that Quest 1 is find a mechanic. And now we know for the rest of time that was the first quest.
Okay.
Ops 1, add Quest Card 1 to your Quest board with the lock cards in slots 2, 3, and 4.
Here.
So, yep. So your quest board represents the things you're trying to do in the universe. And for Quest 1, which is just find a mechanic, you don't actually need 4 slots of information. We can probably handle it in 1. So the locked cards are just sort of things you don't even need to worry about.
Okay.
Basically, there's
Also-
1 slot of information we need.
Also, operations, add action card E talk with an arrow down.
Yeah, so
To quest
the
card 1.
action cards, those are the right ones, the purple ones. There should be an E down there at the bottom of the
Yep.
stack. Each action card has 4 different edges, 2 on the front, 2 on the back, representing who you're going to be talking to. In this case, we're talking to a contact, which is the down arrow. And that gets tucked underneath the quest card to complete our quest board, and now we can actually do things.
All right. Passing it on to you.
Okay. So I'll be next. So now we have a map. We've got a quest. We've got things to do.
All right.
Specifically, we could talk to somebody about finding a mechanic, preferably our mechanic. What you're allowed to do as a group action is pick one of the quests you're on, pick an action attached to it, and then go someplace in the map that matches the icon on that verb. So the down arrow is here at the mechanics yard, which would be an excellent place to find our mechanic.
Okay. So I think that's a good decision,
I
group.
think that's the right choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to find out where in the book we go to, we look at the action card and the quest card. You see
Okay.
down at the bottom it says E and
Yes.
1.
Yes.
So we're combining talk for E, quest 1 for 1, and then the location we're going to on the map is this dot, which is at I4. So I look up in this book, E1, I4,
Well, that's cool.
and if we did this correctly, it will be some text that I get to read.
That's pretty super nifty.
Yeah, so here we have E1, I4, the mechanics yard. It tells you to confirm. Last night, the mechanics yard bustled with the whirring and sawing of plum-plim tools. Now, every screwdriver and wrench sits motionless. No one's even switched on the workshop lights yet. A violet plum-plim wearing a pink bandana dozes in a patch of moss next to the shop. Her name tag says she is Molia Thagden. She must be your mechanic. You gently shake her arm to wake her up, but she only looks up for a moment with her eyes still half shut. Not now, Grandpa, she murmurs. I'm late for my biology test. She nods off again. You knew the Plum-Plim enjoyed their leisure time, but not this much. You wonder why a highly respected technician would fall asleep on the job. Update. Ops set Quest 1, Slot 1 to Observation. So, those cards with letters on them are momentum cards, and momentum cards represent the way that you've made progress on quests. In this case, we've made progress on Quest 1 by observing a sleeping Plum-Plim. Once a row is completely filled, in this case it is, we're going to look up a resolution for that quest by reading the letters across the top. In this case, Q1OLLL. And in this booklet, there are a bunch of Q1s with letters in them, and I'm going to look up Q1OLLL, and it says continue to X111, which is the result of our quest.
Okay.
Your mechanic, who is supposed to upgrade the Odyssey, has fallen asleep and won't wake up. Maybe someone around here can recommend a replacement. If you can't find a mechanic near the spaceport, perhaps someone near the busy town center of Pollitt or the residences of Watergum Acres can recommend one. Nav, add card BGO2 to the map.
You can do it, Josh. I believe in you.
You can do it. Oh, he's close.
So
Uh-oh.
close.
Oh, no. Oh, I did it. Good job. Remove action card E from quest card 1.
So get rid of the talk.
So no more talking
We're done.
No more
with
talking.
to contacts. Instead, add action card B talk with the passerby edge, which is a speech bubble. You want a B.
B.
B. With the
Speech bubble for passerby.
Okay.
So
showing
now
that
we
off
can
there.
talk to passersby about, hey, does anybody know where there's a mechanic? And then remove the locked card from slot 2 of quest 1. So now there's different progress we can make.
Okay.
But now also, there are 4 different locations we can go to that all of the speech bubble that we can go and ask about finding a mechanic. So we could go to the Intergalactic Spaceport, we could go back to the mechanics yard, we could go to Pollitt Central Garden, or we could go to Watergum Acres.
Feel like the Intergalactic Spaceport would be a good place to find a mechanic.
I don't know. I think we're going to get in trouble.
Uh-oh.
They're going to yell at us.
We're
We're
all
still in
going to jail.
violation.
Are we taking our ship there, or are we just like moseying there?
We're just walking around. The ship's parked in the,
all
in
right,
the dock.
all right. All right.
Intergalactic Spaceport.
Yeah, let's go
Sure.
I
there.
mean, you're the commander. I don't want to step on your toes.
I feel like I'm more of a brown coat commander than I am. Like I'm very wary of the intergalactic spaceport, but all right. I'll buy into it.
All right.
We're gonna
So
do B1 at
3. I3.
I3.
yes.
Okay.
So B1 I3. Who gets to read next?
Commander.
I3. Me? All right.
Nope.
No,
Yep.
I'm just.
What's your choice?
Let's see if I can find it first. B1 I3, the intergalactic spaceport. You see a brown Felici leaning next to a pile of shipping crates labeled Central Gardens. He fiddles with a comms device in his hands, his brows furrowed. He wears a uniform marked Federation Express, the interstellar mailing service, and his name tag says Hector. You ask Hector if he knows anyone in town who can fix your ship. None of the usual gearheads have shown up today, he said. But Plum Plum do have a lot of holidays. We have to choose.
Oh.
Do we add C to ask if this is a holiday? Do we add R to ask if any other mechanics are around? Do we add B to look around for someone who knows more?
I
So-
don't trust Hector.
Those letters are representing the discs in front of you. There's cyan, brown, and red, which is totally not peach.
Okay.
Things happened.
I don't know. Do you guys trust Hector? Hector?
Hector? I think Hector is really not terribly informed, but he is letting us know that maybe there is some sort of mechanics epidemic going on of
Yeah,
some
it sounds
kind.
fishy.
Or maybe there's a festival going.
Well,
Let's go party.
I mean, is your vote to go ask him if it's a holiday?
Yeah, I want to go know about holidays.
holiday,
I was going to see if we could talk to someone else.
someone else.
Well, I'm
You
not
already know the
voting.
answer.
You're the tiebreaker, Commander. Your decision. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Someone else. Sorry.
Someone else? That's all
Sorry.
right.
Sorry.
No party for us.
All right.
So I can tell you about the Felici because I'm the information officer.
Oh, yeah. What's a
Ooh.
Felici?
The Felici are tall cat people from the planet Aravine. They are warrior-like, but generally trustworthy.
Okay.
All right. So not a shady
Except
character.
for this one. No, I'm sorry.
Except this guy right now.
This guy is a jerk.
Yeah, no. Look around for someone who knows more. So brown, which is in no way peach.
All right. And what do we do?
Which one is it? B?
Yeah.
That's brown, right?
Yeah, use the dark brown one. And put that where we are, which is the intergalactic spaceport. So disks are decision information storage chips. Represent choices we make along the way and may influence later bits
Okay.
of the story.
Excellent. X312
X312?
operations.
X312.
Where's...
You got to turn the page.
Oh, I
to
gotta
find it.
I gotta find it. Okay. Wait, no, that's chapter 2. I'm no. X312. Okay. Navigator, add the brown token.
Yeah.
Yep.
You leave Hector to deal with his crates and search around the vast spaceport. At one end of the glade surrounding the port, you spot a control booth. It looks like it has grown out of the ground with sturdy tree trunk beams and leafy window slats. A placard on one side shows nearby points of interest and lists the names of the spaceport managers. Bumbin and Tum Tum Bumble. Around the other side, you find a locked door. A hastily written sign hanging on it reads, "Off now. Gone to Homestead. B. Bumble." Update nav, add location card BG07 to the map.
BG07.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Skipping all the cards. Homestead.
It's just south of Miami.
That is true. Oops.
Oh no.
Oh no, we
You
moved
destroyed
one of our
it.
guys. That's not quite right. Is it?
Yeah. It's a tower right there.
Oh, it is that one.
Yeah.
I know where the cards go. Nobody's gone there today.
Yes.
Everybody wanted to party.
Was that it? Nothing
Everybody
else?
wanted
Yeah,
to
it was
party.
So we have new places to go.
All right.
So it's got that talky talk there. So
Yep.
we can talk to passersby in a homestead.
We could.
Oh. They probably speak Spanish, though.
What?
Space Espanol.
Como está el daño?
No, Josh.
No.
No.
No. So that would be J.
J2?
Yeah, so we'd be going to B1, J2. Ah.
B1. J2. The homestead is quiet. Cheerful tufts of flower bloom along both sides of the entry gate. And a sign reading, "Welcome to our homestead," hangs overhead. In front of a clearing, you find a green cabbage the size of a shed sitting on the grass with an open hatch, dashboard, and seats inside. An open toolbox sits next to it with a few tools scattered around the yard. You call out, "Hello," to see if anyone's around, but no one answers. We could either pick up the loose tools or look around for the owner. So we could steal this stuff, or we can go
It
look
doesn't
for
say we're
someone.
taking it. It just
No.
says
Pick up.
we're
We're
putting
tidy.
it away.
We're helping.
We're
Yeah,
we're
helping.
super
We're
helpful.
cleaning it
You
up
don't want
and put
their
it in our
helpers.
ship.
You don't want their vegetable wrenches to get rusty or anything.
No.
What? It's probably vegetable wrenches. They have a vegetable truck. They have a cabbage truck.
Cabbage truck.
What kind of vegetables do you make a wrench out of?
Turnips. No, the people are
No.
turnips.
Oh.
Less turnips.
It got dark. Real fast.
I mean, everyone knows hammers would be made out of beets, but you know.
Bump, bump,
Uh-huh.
bump, bump.
But I vote for looking for the person,
I do too. I think we need to get to
Okay.
the bottom of this mystery.
So X215.
and it's not nice to touch other people's stuff without their permission.
No, it's very rude.
And they're
Were we
turnip
supposed to
people. They're
put
probably
a
really
colored?
nice.
It'll
It'll
tell
still
us,
say
yeah.
on the thing.
X215. All right, add a red marker.
Those are the peach ones that are totally red. Totally red.
Up a winding walkway, past the sign reading Mechanics Guild headquarters this way, you find an extra large bulb hose with an open doorway. This is someone else's home, so you enter cautiously, announcing yourself and that you mean no harm. You peek your head around a corner to see a plum dozing on an armchair. You cough loudly to get her attention. Her eyes flutter open. Beautiful alien, she murmurs. Take me to the dance, tall, oily friends. She falls back asleep, jaw slack, and a mouth drooling. You walk out the house slowly. Update. Ups. Set quest 1, slot 2 to conversation.
Sure was a conversation.
Sure was. We sure did conversate.
Tall, oily friends.
Tall, oily.
Take
That's
me
us.
to the
Is that it,
dance.
Josh?
Yeah, so we have a new, so it's Q1.
Okay.
OCLL to
OCLL.
resolve
We're-
this stage of quest 1.
Go.
Why are they all sleepy?
Yeah.
That's worrisome.
Fascinating.
Someone drugged the mechanics?
You gotta find Q1 OCCLL.
OCLL.
OCLL.
OCL.
Q's are before the X's.
Like in the alphabet.
Like in the alphabet.
C.
OCLL.
Continue to X113.
Aha.
All right. 113. Not 133.
One more page.
Yeah.
Bottom.
Unfortunately, there are no fully fledged mechanics available who can fix the Odyssey, and you have noticed something else unusual. Many plum are sleeping in late today and nestling into comfortable resting spots indoors and outdoors in unusual places. Maybe if you can find plum who are awake, they can explain what's happening.
Huh.
Ops. Remove action B. Talk from quest card 1.
Bum bum bum.
Info. Add quest 2. Learn about sleeping plum to your passport. Ops. Back to you. Add quest card 2 to your quest board with the locked cards in slots 3 and 4. Also, add action card A. Look into details, so the
Magnifying
magnifying
glass.
glass to quest 2. And add action card B, Talk, to passersby to quest 2.
So that means we're done with
So-
quest 1 then, right?
For now.
For now.
Oh, we could loop back to it.
It could come back,
Okay.
but for now, there's nothing we can do with it, so there's no actions there.
All right. So-
But, yeah, we could look around where there are magnifying glasses, or we could talk to people where there are conversation bubbles
Okay.
I
about
mean,
why is everybody sleeping.
we're here. I feel like we should probably look around.
Since we
Look
are
around the
here,
homestead.
Yeah,
Alright.
I don't want to walk around too much. So
you want to
like,
Yeah,
nap.
it's
You're
a
a
lot of
plum
moving.
plum.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's happening.
You're human. You're oily.
You're oily.
Oh.
Here. All right, we're gonna look around for clues. Make it happen.
So-
K2. So
No, J2.
J2. So
So we're
it'd be
looking at A2, J2.
A2, J2.
Excuse me?
A2,
A2,
J2.
A2, J2.
Yes.
An enormous cabbage stands just inside the homestead gate. You look more closely and can see that it has an open, spaceship-like hatch and a cockpit that would seat several plum inside. It is currently empty. Behind the cabbage, you find an open workshop with a sign overhead that reads, Bumbin's Cabbage Patch and Repair. There are no plum in the shop either, but you do see several tools scattered around haphazardly. Updates none.
So also try talking.
So we
since we're
just
here?
looked at what we just looked at.
We already but we talked already?
But that was a different...
That was a different talk. wouldn't it
Yeah,
be?
this would be B2.
B2,
B2.
J2.
2.
B2J2. The
And
Bumble
C3PO.
Homestead. You walk up to the front door and knock. It creaks open a few inches, and you hear a loud, dull thunk. You try to push the door the rest of the way, but it stops short, bumping into the nose of a plumplim who opened the door and collapsed into slumber behind it. He whispers, "Not the face, please." After you make sure he is unhurt, you notice he has already fallen asleep again. All right, I have to, if quest 2, slot 1 is empty, set it to general. Slot 2.
No.
Slot 1 is empty.
Yes.
Okay, set it to general. Okay.
Not the face.
Not the face, please.
Anything but the face.
Okay, so that's all the actions we can do there then.
Correct.
We could look around the spaceport.
We're going to the acres. We haven't gotten there yet.
Where's that?
Watergum
down here.
Acres. In here.
Sounds like
Yep.
That's where all the rich people live.
It's true.
What's the thing for that?
We're going to look or we're going to talk?
Do you want to look?
Let's
So
look
it's
first.
Look around.
K4.
K4.
But so it's A2, K4.
A2K4. A2K4. Bulb houses line the winding street. You see tiny red and white flowers blooming in the yards and daisy-grown welcome mats in the front of the doors. If you do not have item B in your passport...
We
have-
don't.
Okay.
We have none items.
Then we're going to X221.
Good.
Would you like to read?
Oh, more than life itself. Nav add K.
At a black disc, which we don't have, so we're going to use a white one.
All right. And I'm just
And
adding
I'm going to remember it was black.
You approach a house with an open door, but you don't see anyone going in or out. When you look inside, you see a room full of soundly sleeping plumclim. They appear to have fallen asleep where they stood. One of them is holding a pot of soup, which is slowly soaking into the rug. Another plumclim has a toothbrush in her mouth. As you leave, you spot some with a leafy sprout on their head in the distance. Have you found a plumclim awake? You run to catch up with her. I don't have time for fans right now, the plumclim says. She turns to look at you, and you notice, on closer inspection, that her face looks like a zip-zabs.
What's a zip-zap?
So zip-zabs are 2 to 3 foot tall potato people who are
Okay.
made out of rock with long, lanky legs.
Okay, so she is pretending to be a plum.
Maybe.
In fact, she is a zip-zab.
Ah.
What is she wearing? A costume? You notice orange paint covering her features, and what you thought was a plum sprout is a large leaf of kale stuck to her forehead with duct tape. Oblivious to your stares, she throws her hands up in the air. Every one of my crew is asleep, and no one can capture my good side in this lighting. How can I, the great Narissa, film my Plum Plum movie if I can't film me? The Zip Zap hands you a scrap of paper with a tiny scrawl and runs off shouting for helpers. Updates. Info. Add item B, Narissa. Nope, I was right the first time. Narissa's dry cleaning receipt to your passport.
So I write down Nurse's dry cleaning receipt, and also we'll get a little piece of paper that is the dry cleaning receipt from the game.
Ooh.
You can study for clues later.
Ops, if Quest 2 slot 1 is empty, set it to General. We already have that. Otherwise, set Quest 2 slot 2 to General.
Okay.
So we have Q2 GGLL.
Yep.
GG.
Good game. It's over.
We're done.
We're
done
done.
here.
All right.
We found the celebrity.
Now, what do we want to do? Do we want to talk?
Well, we do Q2 GGLL, right?
Yeah, so you do
Once you
Q2
complete it.
GGLL because we finished Quest 2.
All right.
Got just a few minutes left. I think this might be the last item for today.
Yeah, this will resolve Quest 2 and we can wrap up from there.
224. X224. Your mechanic is not the only Plum Plum on Nope. Nope.
Which
You.
one was this?
224.
224. Your mechanic is not the only Plum Plum on Broomagum taking a day off. You have found Plum Plum asleep wherever you find them, and you're not the only one who has noticed. All over town, calls are going unanswered, workers are out, and very little seems to be getting done at all. As you reflect on the situation, an Elemens walks by. It's an Elemens.
Elements are little dragon people. Think
that's
like
awesome.
Mushu from Mulan times 10.
Oh.
Nice. His brow pointedly furrowed. His tongue flicks outward to taste the air, and he abruptly stops pacing, turning to face you. Apophenia, Offworlders! He exclaims, quickly adding, "Pardon my language, but you must come with me. Have you seen what is happening? You mentioned that all the Plumplims are asleep." "Precisely," he hisses. The town hall should be full of Plumplim. This is highly irregular behavior. Highly irregular. He points his ear sharply at you and flicks his tongue out once again, this time just a few centimeters from your nose. "I'm Sarbon, the 4th District Comptroller, and you smell trustworthy. Please find some help for me. There's so much to do. Perhaps together we can solve this crisis. I'll be at the town hall in my office. Come find me when you have a plan. You're not going anywhere until the Odyssey is repaired, so you may as well help this stressed-out lizard man." So, a bunch of stuff gets added right here, but I think this is where we're going to call it for today.
So we smell good.
We smell trustworthy.
Trustworthy.
And we're
Not
oily.
good.
And we're oily.
Yeah.
Very oily.
Yeah. I mean,
This is fair.
yeah.
Yeah,
I've actually
fair.
had that
It's
told
all
to me
quite
before,
reasonable.
But, you know. All right, so Chris, thank you so much for showing this
Yeah.
off. Is there anything about this game? I know there's a lot, but is
There's
there
a lot.
anything that we didn't get a chance to show off today that you wanted to talk about?
So the main thing that we didn't see is how a chapter ends. And every chapter ends with saying, you now have access to Chapter 2 or Chapter 3, based on how the story ended for the day. And so depending on what choices you make, you might wind up on a different planet, or you might wind up in the jungles, or you might wind up anywhere. So every time you play a chapter, it will turn out differently based on what you choose to do.
Very cool.
So how's the replayability? Because Choose Your Own Adventures can kind of be
Right.
interested in that.
That was one of the things we wanted to aim for heavily, making so it was actually interesting to replay these
Yeah.
scenarios. There's a lot of, even with the things we did, we had different choices in 2 of those locations.
Yeah.
Right.
And aside from that, we had places we didn't even go. So what we decided to do is always make the story move forward when you make a choice, and you can't go back and try the other thing. To go back and try the other thing, you got to play it again, so that you have incentive to try that the other way and see different things.
Awesome.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining
Yeah.
us here today, and thank all of you for watching at home. Stay tuned. We're going to be taking a short break right now, but we'll be back in just a few minutes with more coverage from PAX Unplugged 2018. Signing off for now, though, I'm Matt.
I'm Josh.
I'm Julie.
I'm Chris.
Good night, everyone.
Hi.